Auntie, my love, this mic is all yours.
Okay, hear me? Can you guys hear me? I
Yeah.
know
Yes, we
my
can hear you and
okay.
see you.
Okay, great. I don't want you to see me because I had to switch to my phone because I didn't have audio in the other on my dual screens. I had no audio hooked up. I haven't been down here for a while, so I just switched screens and I see that my background's backwards. That's perfect. I love it. Backwards, inside out, upside down. Yeah, so that was a really great message, Rev Wayne. Oh my goodness, it just really, I feel like it put a little bow on what we were all talking about this morning. It it's freaking beautiful. And I said to I love you, Zilma. I can see your gorgeous smile because I'm just sitting here and looking at my screen, and you're just so beautiful. Thank you for your light. And Regis, you look gorgeous. Well, I just mean that. Sure, it is gorgeous. I really do love that. Rev Wayne's still at the beach, and Lynn is just a working machine. She's got our logo there, ACIM Gather. I just said our logo. Ooh, I've made myself obviously a big part of this group now because I just said our. That was cool to hear. Anyway, and Dove, he's here. I call Dove the principal because I think that he's sort of, in a sense, the leader, if you would. But we were also talking about how we don't put people on pedestals or idols, right? But it's hard to do. It's like, come on, you gotta. I mean, I know when I meet any of you guys, I'm gonna be like, oh, because it's just, it's like a privilege. It's a privilege and an honor, and that's what it should be probably for everybody. But I haven't recognized that these lower level amoebios are deserving of it yet because I had to learn that I was deserving of it first. So, Rev Wayne, your message was just gorgeous, and I just really loved again how it just brought everything together today. I said to my husband, yeah, yesterday, I said, life is so great, honey. I'm like, it's so good. I said, I don't know, like, sometimes I get this feeling like someone's gotta die or something's gonna happen because it's so good. And he looked at me and you know what he said? He said, it can get even better. And I was like, what? How? What? What? And I've been thinking about that this morning in my mind. And I'm like, better how? And I was thinking, would I want that? And it's like, but there's nothing else I would want or need. And that's what's making it better. That's what's making life better is this contentment with what I have, who I am, just accepting this self, who I am. Strip away, I use the word strip away, even everything about the course. And just as people, and nothing about religion or anything, I believe the truth is that people need to go inward to just love themselves and accept themselves. Because when you do that, when you truly love and accept yourself and you can let things go, you're like not a basket case because you effed up your children or you did this or that or blah, blah, blah. The rest comes. It just shows up. You don't even have to believe it says it in the course. You don't have to believe this. You just read it. I mean, but even those who don't read it, if they just did that, like it's a commandment, love treat yourself, treat thy neighbor as you would yourself. And I used to do that properly because I treated my neighbors like SHIT. And then I treated myself like SHIT. So I treated others like SHIT. And then, this whole process of really looking inward. And for me, the reason I did that was because of spirituality and wanting to fix myself and change. I had to change something. I knew there was something wrong with my brain. I've always known there is something wrong with my brain, but I didn't fit the definition of any of the mental illnesses when I looked, when I was like, well, I don't have, maybe I have schizophrenia, but not really, because they're just voices and it's just music and it's harmless. They're not telling me to, go kill the dog or do that. So I don't think I am, but maybe. And then, just knowing that there was something wrong. Well, yeah, gosh, there was something wrong. I was deep in this illusion. And that's why when I read the course, I was so happy because I was like, yes, it's not real. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. This is bullshit here. I knew it because nothing makes sense. How can there be 4 billion people and not enough resources to feed them? And then how many years later, now there's 25 billion people and there's not enough resources. What? What's happened? We shouldn't have enough resources. Why are we alive then? It's just weird. And where's money come from? The governments are billions of dollars in debt. Where does that come from? Do they just make more? It makes no sense. And rich people aren't even rich, I realized the other day, monetarily, because they're spending freaking more. If I spend $20 on a hamburger, they're spending $2,000. So they don't even have any money either. They're just the same as us, but they're spending more money. There's no people that are richer or poorer, or, well, yeah, I mean, there's different appearances of it, but whatever, I'm not even reading my book because I'm just too into this conversation and this discovery of just your message, Rev Wayne, about how it just I get it and I love it and I'm seeing it and I'm opening up. I feel this blossoming and blooming of a true self, but yet knowing that there's an ego there and seeing it clearly. Yesterday, when that whole thing with my son, as I was talking about this morning, when Sharon was sharing and how I felt that feeling, but I was able to talk about it with him and I noticed it right away. And I was able to say to him, I was like, oh my God, I feel like you're giving me heck. I feel like you're reprimanding me for this or that. And then because I felt that, I said, as soon as you said something about that car, it was just, I could feel it, but I was like, no, I don't know. It didn't explode or anything, but I didn't feel like I chose it. I feel like it just happened naturally. And Ash, my son, was saying, oh no, Mom, I didn't mean that. I'm just saying that, it was just what would have been in the past. Then I would have drove away thinking about this story for the rest of the day and just being miserable. We just communicated. And there's another thing. Communication is just whack a frickin' doodle in this world. And it's gotten worse. I mean, just with phones and the texting, and you can't tell what people mean. And of course, I know some people aren't as maybe imaginative or off in the fairy dairy when people say something or whatever. But for me, when I would get text or something, there were so many possibilities that my brain would go into thinking it could be. So busy. I was so busy. No wonder I was tired. Like I couldn't even drive very long or I'd fall asleep because I just was on alert all the time. There was so freaking much going on in my brain of all the possible the just and seeing so much. Like I had so much vastness of ideas. Like I couldn't even concentrate on even doing something simple. Like if something happened, I wouldn't be able to be like, okay, well, click this button and go do this and do that because I would completely freeze up because I had this like anxiety so big and I didn't even know I had it. And then because of that, that's why I drank. That's why I was drinking because it would stop all the stuff in my head from going. It slowed it down. And then I was able to think a little better. But then because of the alcohol, that thinking was distorted again. It just was a gong show. And people are like, well, you're an alcoholic. You shouldn't have a drink here. Well, I'm not an alcoholic. I actually did that as a coping mechanism. That's why it was easy for me to quit. And that's why also I don't crave it. And that's why I can now have a glass and it lasts me like, you know, 2 hours or don't finish it. I mean, I think I had 3 glasses of wine last year in all, maybe. But you know what I mean? Like, it's just so funny. People have that image of me now. And it's okay though. I don't have to defend myself either about it. Before I'd be like, oh, I've been sober for this long and and I have to people please, oh, will you like me? Oh, who cares? I only need to like myself. I only need to like myself. And now I do. I can sit and enjoy my own company with myself. I've started using a planner, something I couldn't do before. I'd buy them and do that, but I couldn't think far enough ahead to understand how a planner worked, how you put, the higher level and then you go into more detail because there's monthly and your weekly spread and your date. I couldn't do that because my brain was too busy. And my doctor was like, years ago when my son, both my kids were diagnosed ADHD, and my one son, he's 30 now, he was like, you have ADHD, Mom. And I was like, no, I don't. And you don't either. Because I was in denial about it because I didn't believe there was anything quote unquote wrong with me. But I knew there was something wrong with my brain. But that wasn't wrong with me. But then I was still confused about who the me and the you were too. But yet there was truth in there too when you kind of say it and flip it. I was like so close to remembering so many times, and it just couldn't happen until it does. That remembering, that reminder, that feeling, that knowing who walks with me. Who walks with me 1,000 times a day saying it? And I remember when I first did the lessons of A Course in Miracles, I wouldn't even remember to do the lesson. Like I'd wake up the next day and it'd be like, I wouldn't remember. But if I set an app or a timer or whatnot, and I got a partner and we would read, like it just, when the script is that and you're just going with the flow, the person, it all unfolds beautifully. I don't make any effort of it. I was able to do those tasks despite my brain. But the thing for me was when I did get sober, quote unquote, 5 years ago or whatever it was, I really thought I would feel better. I thought, because, if you quit drinking, then you're going to feel better. But I didn't. I did in a sense, because it was nice not to have hangovers or this or that. But I still, like, my body was sore, like kind of like a hangover. I still was tired. I still got the anger. I was still like that fight or flight anxiety, like it. And I didn't understand it. And still more years. And finally, I just did. I just went and I just got diagnosed and did get the meds. So it's been almost a year now. And I'm so grateful because in all of that, now I have all this study, this book knowledge, this education, but I have such a vast amount of experience to look back upon. And the greatest thing of all is that I have vast amounts of contrast experience to look upon. And truly seeing that this person has been different people, acting, the funny role, this funny character that or the good at their job role, so much so that you're working so hard because you can't, because my brain's so effed up that I'm not very productive, or I wasn't very productive. I don't know how I even managed now, but I would get, because I also I had OCD, a little OCD. So I would have this desire to keep things organized and clean, and that allowed for the ability to be able to do processing. Because my doctor, what I was gonna say was, like, because I've been with the same doctor for 25 years, and I didn't always tell her everything, the truth, but mostly. And she was like, no, I don't think you have ADHD, Audrey, because you did well in school, because I got good marks in school. But I reflected back, I've been reflecting back, like, afterwards and stuff, and I'm like, but I didn't learn anything. I didn't know how to even read a graph, or sometimes I'd read multiple choice questions and I would just get completely confused, so I would guess. So what I did was I memorized. I had a I was I was given, or however it unfolded, I had a photographic memory pretty much, because when I was in college, I actually, on an exam, I got 125%, because I got everything right, all the multiple choice and the 3 bonus questions at the end. Nobody else got that, but that was from memorizing. I had cue cards and I would sit and I just read them over and over, and it was a memorization. And then I learned how the game worked, how a multiple choice test worked. So, you learn how to, okay, there's going to be 2 out, you learn just a few things just to help you a little better. But I didn't learn anything. I didn't really know anything, because I had this, and I know we don't, but I had this wall up so much so that if something came that I couldn't see an image in my mind about it, if nothing appeared in my mind, I was in fear. But nothing in my mind is the best thing now. I didn't know that. I forgot. I forgot. I only just forgot for a moment. And we forget and we come back. And I'm so much more compassionate with myself instead of before it was like, you gotta die because there's something wrong with you. Like you're wackadoodle. I mean, that was because I was drinking, because after I drank, I didn't have that, I didn't go sink into, we would call quote unquote a depression, but it was from alcohol. Alcohol's a depressant. I wasn't depressed. Like, there's differences in what a depression is. And I don't know. I just feel like bottom line is know thyself, going inwards, loving thyself, do what makes you happy and gives you joy. And if it's coming to groups and reading A Course in Miracles and talking about stuff and being amongst people, then do that. But if you come and do that and it's used against you and you're freaking miserable doing it every time, what's the point of that then? I don't understand that. People go to churches and all that and they're miserable even sitting there, or they're miserable, or they're okay when they're sitting there for a minute and then they're not. What is the point of that? Or what's the point? I know there's an ego that is like, say, will convince you, oh, don't go, or this or that. But the truth is, like, if I know anything, it's that I will remember that I know nothing, and to love myself, because there's nothing outside of me. So I feel complete with that, but I want to open it up and see, maybe Zoma, do you have any comments? Or if Lynn's here, or Dove, or Regis, Rev Wayne, anybody, but Zoma, I just see you, so come on.
I just think that you make the point so clearly that it's all coming from the inside, and all that stuff that we're seeing outside, we're the ones seeing it, and the way to come back to peace is just to go back inside. That's really it. You expressed that so beautifully. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoma. Thank you. Aw, thanks. And I was just thinking, oh, that's so awesome that the book, or that the background's backwards, because I would have probably read, because I wouldn't have been able to move past that in my previous, before meds. I say BM. A BM is a poop in the medical world. Your BM's bowel movement. So I call the past BM, before meds, and present time is now, and everything is just going to get better and better. But I love that it's backwards, because I didn't read the book today. I was thinking, well, there's 6 minutes left. I guess I could read, but I thought maybe somebody else would say something. So, but I was wrong. Imagine that.
It's not backwards. I'm seeing it. You mean the Course in Miracles, the your background? It's not
Yeah.
backwards. No, I see it. I see it straight on.
Oh my gosh, it's backwards for me.
I just can't see part of it. I see the OURSC. That's OURSE. And I see
Oh, I
N.
see what happened here. I'm in a different. It's
But it's
not.
not backwards. But it's not
Yeah,
backwards.
yeah. It's just I didn't do it right. That's why. I get it. Okay, well, no problem. What? Oops! Now I took it off. But you know what? I'm just pushing buttons here. Here, let's play with that. How's that look? So anyway, yeah. So if nobody else has any comments to make, the little kitten, is it a cat or a dog? Oh my gosh, it's even talking too, and I'm talking. That's creepy. You know how there's all this AI stuff and all that out and blah blah blah. Well, I swear I'm just laughing because I'm like, we are probably all just AIs anyway. So now they're just introducing AI so that we can play with AI and all this so that they can now be like brainwash us to now we're AI. Who's they? I don't know. I've never met any of them. Have you?
It's the agents of the future. The Matrix is the agents.
Oh, the agents. Yes. Yeah. Thanks, Revwayne. The agents. Yeah, I love the show The Matrix. It's so many levels in that movie, and I've watched it